Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Miscreated, and if you're coming here because you're a subscriber, I just want to thank all you guys again for all the support lately. And if you're not, well, you know, you can hit that button, join our lovely community, and yeah, so I've been following this game a while. I found it maybe on Reddit like 6 or 7 months ago, and it wasn't released yet, so I was kind of like, you know, just another zombie game. But eventually, it popped up on my YouTube feed, like, oh, it's released now, so I bought it, and now I'm playing it, and it's another game to add to the zombie genre, which I'm really liking right now because, you know, it's open, their landscapes are beautiful, and it's really interesting to see those non-scripted character interactions, and this is a multiplayer game, so that makes sense. And it's early access, too, for $25, so you have to decide if you want to buy it or not right now. If you're the type of person who buys maybe, you know, 4 or 5 games over a period of a year, you might not want to because there's not too much you can do in it. But if you like testing games and you like early access, this is definitely a good one to buy. And I'm going to vouch for the developer here because I watched a lot of his streams back earlier in the year. He was teaching how to make, you know, realistic post-apocalyptic textures, all kind of stuff like that, and I can't say in 100% faith that this game will be completed, but compared to most of the early access games out there, it's not that risky of a buy. And in this video, I want to tell one thing that this game really does right, and that's its environment. It really does a fantastic job with, you know, a realistic-looking post-apocalyptic feel, and you can give CryEngine a lot of credit for that, but you have to give the developer credit too, because I watched his streams earlier, like I said, and he just did so much work to make sure, you know, this map was detailed and the textures fit the whole entire concept. So the added lighting, the wind, and, you know, the plants that move as you walk through them, you can thank the guys over at CryEngine, but you have to give some thanks to the developer too. So we're going to transition to night now. I found a good town as I was walking, which is a good example of the level of detail and the realism of these environments. So if you walk down the street, you can really feel a sense of, you know, brokenness. There's overgrowth of grass and leaves, and then the houses are overgrown with all that vegetation too. And I'll give a better example in the daylight later in this video. But as you walk into these homes, the interiors really follow the same concept. There's garbage and dirt everywhere. Like, all the objects are broken, and then you have grass and vines growing all over the place, even inside, which I'm really happy to see something like that. And, you know, there's not a huge variety in houses right now, but it should be enough to keep you satisfied at the moment. And as I was walking down the street, I even found this house with a barricade in it, which was a really cool idea. Maybe we'll see something like this in the future where you can actually build these barricades yourself. And then I walked down the road even more, and I hit a supermarket down the road, which I found very similar to a supermarket I saw in The Walking Dead. So you can start to see a lot of, like, where the inspiration came from for this game. I kind of see a little bit of everything, you know, some Alan Wake, a little bit of Walking Dead, some DayZ. It took a lot of things from these games and, you know, did it right for the most part. And at this food store, you know, there's graffiti everywhere. You have the usual rundown textures. And I have to say, it's one of the most immersed environments that I've ever played in a game at the moment. So we'll head back to daylight. I want to show you something really interesting about the lighting in this game. So notice what happens to the light as I walk on this bridge. The game got darker, right? And that's because the sun actually went behind a cloud. I've never actually seen this before in a game. I was walking, I was like, why did it just get dimmer? I'm like, whoa, this actually happened. So I've never seen that before, so that's a really cool implementation. Now that's most likely a feature that came from CryEngine, but either way, it's a really interesting addition, in my opinion. And if you follow the pathway from this bridge, there's another good example of the diverse vegetation in this game. There's a ton of different types of plants. Then you have the sounds as well of the wind and the chirping birds to really make you feel like you're in these woods. And I have a house in Pennsylvania, and to me it's like an exact replica of this area here. I mean, to the rocks that are on the ground, the plant types, the trees, even the boulders, it's literally like exactly the same. I might be able to find a decent picture for you guys. I'll show it if I can. But anyway, we're going to move to a more public area. I kept following the path and was eventually led to some houses on the water. And I think this would be like a really cool spot if there were bases implemented. So if you could like barricade these houses on the lakes, you could kind of make this whole entire like 200-foot radius your own or your team's own area. And there's a lot of farms too. You could probably do the same thing. They're very detailed. There's rundown textures on the houses as usual, which you can loot. There's not that much loot at the moment, not a lot of variety, but I'm sure there will be more added. And then outside this farmhouse, you have a bunch of old supplies and of course a lot of open land surrounding everything. And then finally, I was fully geared up. So overall, I'm really liking where this game is heading. I mean, once the weapons and the cars are added, I'm probably not going to put this game down. It'll be so awesome. So I'm really hoping that happens. So that's all I have to share for now. I want to thank all my subscribers out there again for supporting me with these videos lately. I'm looking forward to playing more Miscreated, doing some group meetups with you guys, and then playing all those other games that are out right now. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.